The information you need relating to the sport you love, all within 5 minutes. NASCAR in 5 starts right now. The Challenger round of the Chase for the Sprint Cup continues Sunday at New Hampshire. More details on the new Chase format can be seen on last week's NASCAR 5. We will also update you on the latest to do with the Chase throughout the remainder of the season here on NASCAR 5. The final race of the Challenger round will be next weekend at Dover. Welcome to NASCAR 5. I'm your host, Bryce Turner. First up, a look at results from the MyAfibStory.com 400, which was held last weekend at Chicagoland. Brad Keselowski won the race for the second consecutive week and record 5th time this season. Jeff Gordon finished second for the second week in a row. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick rounded out the top 5. For more post-race coverage, visit carnuts.ca and click on Closed Wheel Racing. With his win, Brad Keselowski has secured a spot in the next round. Race winners during the Challenger round, followed by those highest in points, will advance to the 12-driver contender round. Also in position to advance are Jeff Gordon, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and the others listed on screen. Those on the bubble: Ryan Newman, who is 1 point back of the 12th position, AJ Allmendinger, who is 5 points back of 12th, Greg Biffle, who is 9 back, and Eric Almirola, who is 23 points back. These drivers need to win or work their way into the top 12 in points during these next 2 races to advance to the next round. The Sylvania 300 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway will start at about 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. The race will be broadcast on ESPN, TSN2, the Performance Racing Network, and SiriusXM. Qualifying will be held today at 4:30 p.m. and will air on Fox Sports 1. Stay tuned, news is next. Here's a look at which races we'll be previewing for you next week here on NASCAR 5. It's time now for a news update. In the news, the Kevin Ward Jr. investigation has been referred to a grand jury. Ontario County District Attorney Michael Tantillo issued a statement which read in part, quote, "I have made the determination that it will be appropriate to submit the evidence to a grand jury for their determination as to what actions should be taken in this matter," end quote. As a reminder about this case, Kevin Ward Jr. was struck and killed by Tony Stewart during a sprint car race in New York State last month. Tantillo also stated that, quote, "As grand jury proceedings in New York State are strictly confidential by law, I am unable to state when the matter will be scheduled, other than to state that I intend to present the matter in the near future," end quote. Stewart will race as scheduled this weekend at New Hampshire. In other news, it's back to Australian V8 supercars for Marcos Ambrose. Ambrose, who has driven full-time for Richard Petty Motorsports since 2011, will make the switch from NASCAR back to V8 supercars after the end of this season. Ambrose, who has 2 career NASCAR Cup wins, will race for DJR Team Penske in supercars in 2015. And Wendell Scott will be honored later this year at Martinsville. Scott was the first African-American driver to win a Cup Series race. Front Row Motorsports number 34 Cup team with driver David Reagan will race with a throwback paint scheme at Martinsville, reminiscent of the number 34 that Scott drove to victory lane at Jacksonville Speedway in 1963. Kyle Busch Motorsports, meanwhile, will change its number 54 truck to the number 34 for the trucks race at Martinsville. Driver Darrell Wallace Jr. became the first African-American to win a race in one of NASCAR's top 3 series since Scott, when he visited victory lane at the Virginia track in 2013. It's time now for an update on the Nationwide and Truck Series, which raced last weekend at Chicagoland. Kevin Harvick won the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast 300 Nationwide Series race. Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch finished second and third. Chase Elliott continues to lead in the standings with an 18-point advantage over Regan Smith. Ty Dillon is in third, 40 points back of the top spot. Kyle Busch won the Lucas Oil 225 Truck Series race. Matt Crafton and Austin Dillon followed Busch across the start finish line. Crafton leads in the standings by 5 points over Johnny Sauter and 16 points over Ryan Blaney. The trucks will race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway tomorrow with the UNOH 175. The race will begin at about 1 p.m. Eastern Time and will be broadcast on Fox Sports 1, Speed Channel, the Motor Racing Network, and SiriusXM. Qualifying will take place tomorrow at 10 a.m. and can be seen on FS1. And the Nationwide Series will take to the track of Kentucky Speedway with the Visit MyrtleBeach.com 300. The race will start at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow and will air on ESPN News, TSN2, the Performance Racing Network, and SiriusXM. Qualifying will be on deck at 4 p.m. tomorrow, but will not be broadcast on either TV or radio. Thanks for watching this week's edition of NASCAR 5. I'm Bryce Turner. Enjoy the races.